Okay, so today one of the patents that I'm going to be talking about, and what we're going to do is we're actually going to go in and analyze the actual patent a little bit, like we did in class. So one of the patents that I'm going to be talking about is a patent on Softsevere, which is a compound that Gilead, the biopharmaceutical company, uses in its famous Sovaldi drug. Now, Sovaldi has been in the news a lot recently because it is notoriously expensive. Because Gilead has the patent on one of the only extremely effective hepatitis C preventative drugs that are and treatment drugs that are out there, they can charge pretty high prices for it at about $100 a pill, which can run people up to $20,000 a treatment. Now, this is the kind of thing that can be life-saving for a lot of people, which is why it's quite controversial that they charge such high prices. Um, and so the patent that we're talking about specifically, I'm going to go through and I'm going to look at the actual patent. It's right here in front of me, and we're going to just talk a little bit about sort of what's really in it. So it starts off, the patent that they file, with a huge background. It's several paragraphs that go very much in depth. It starts off, talking about the hepatitis C virus. So it says the hepatitis C virus infection is a major health problem that leads to chronic liver disease such as excuse me, cirrhosis and hepatocellular carcinoma. And it just kind of breaks down what are the issues at hand, how does this biopharmaceutical piece of engineered gene, this compound they've created, really work in with the drugs that they're using at hand, and it goes all the way through everything that it might touch upon, and then it goes into a section called the summary of the invention, and it says the present invention is directed towards novel pharmaceutical prodrugs of nucleoside derivatives in the treatment of viral infections in mammals, which is a compound, salts, hydrates, solvates, crystalline forms, represented by the following structure. So it's basically what it's saying. It's we have the intellectual property, we own the invention of anything salts, hydrates, solvates, crystalline forms that may have this following structure. And so what they're doing is they're patenting the structure of the compound, and they go through and they list every single aspect of the structure, and it's paragraphs and paragraphs long, listing chemicals, compounds, connections, carbons, hydrates, everything. And it goes all the way through to the end. And so basically what they're doing here is they're sort of setting a precedent. They're sort of setting a precedent about what exactly is our product, how is it organized, and then just basically very technically bringing down every single little bit, piece of it, breaking it down into smaller components. In a lot of ways, to me, this seems easier to write this patent than maybe, for example, Apple patenting a slide and lock screen, because a slide and lock screen has sort of a more artistic element to it, and while, yes, creating complicated drugs is an art, it's very technical, and the technicalities allow you to really break it down bit by bit, and that makes for a more a more seal tight patent law, and I think that is really what's going to separate sort of the more technical aspects of patent law and more innovative aspects of patent law.